we will add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions. Our first question, f of x is 1 minus x squared. G of x is 1 minus x. It asks us to find f plus g of x. F of x plus g of x gives us f plus g of x. So we take our functions. F of x is 1 minus x squared plus the g of x, which is 1 minus x squared. That is going to equal my f plus g of x. The g of x was 1 minus x. Like terms together, and you should always write your answer in descending order. So f plus g of x is negative x squared minus x plus 2. Adding the two functions together, f plus g of x. In our second question, we have f of x, we have f minus g of x, and it says find the function of g. So we're really looking for g of x. Well, f minus g of x would be f of x minus g of x. We are given what f minus g is. We are given what f of x is. We are looking for g of x. Start some substitutions. Negative x squared plus x, that's my f minus g, equals my f of x, which is 1 minus x squared, minus g of x. We solve for g of x, and that would be our answer. So let's add the x squared to both sides. They will go away. A negative 1 to both sides. X minus 1 is negative g of x. We never want to solve for a negative, so if I times both sides by a negative 1, I get g of x is negative x plus 1, and that would be your answer. A different twist on this question is instead of giving you f minus g, they give you f plus g. If they give you f plus g of x, that would be f of x plus g of x, and still solve for that g of x, but we would not have this last step of timesing by a negative. Our third question. This one has two different parts. It says find f minus g of x and f plus g of 4. Here's my f of x, here's my g of x. Well, first, f minus g of x is f of x minus g of x. F of x is 4x squared minus 5x plus 2 minus the entire g of x, 4 plus 2x plus 2x squared. We are not subtracting just the 4, we are subtracting the entire g of x. Well, you have to make sure that we distribute that negative 1. 4x squared minus 5x plus 2 minus 4 minus 2x squared minus 2x squared. Looking at like terms, 4x squared minus 2x, 2x squared. Negative 5x minus 2x, negative 7x. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So that would be my f minus g of x. The question also asks for f plus g of 4. So I would have to do my f plus g of x is f of x plus g of x. You could take the 4 and put it in my f of x, take the 4, put in the g of x, calculate those numbers, then add them. But I would suggest adding the functions together first, so you only have to make the substitution once. Like terms, 6x squared, negative 3x plus 6, then substitute in your 4. (16) 4 squared is 16 times 6. (96) minus 12 plus 6. So f plus g of 4 equals 90. One more example, number 4. F of x, g of x, find f times g of x. A little warning, be careful in future objectives. We will find f of g, open circle, f of g. Small closed circle means multiplication. So f times g of x is f of x times g of x. F of x, 9x squared. G of x, 3 minus x. FOIL, first, outer, inner, and last. Generally speaking, you want your terms in descending order. This would be written in ascending order. Smallest power to my largest power. Typically, we want the largest power first, and the powers descend as it goes through the question. And that is your answer for f times g of x.